The next site I'm going to talk about is that of DatPiff. DatPiff is one of the biggest mixtape websites out there. It used to be kind of the king of mixtape sites because it had all the kind of big, massive artists on there at one time. Rick Ross, 2 Chainz, Future. A lot of these kind of artists kind of helped the growth of DatPiff. Meek Mill's Dream Chasers 2 was one of the biggest mixtapes to be downloaded on the internet and was downloaded on DatPiff, and it has over 2 million downloads. To upload your mixtape on DatPiff is a little bit different. You have to sign up and complete an application form. It might take you a week to get that application form approved. Once you have your account, you just go to the account section, upload a zip file of your MP3s, and then upload your artwork with that zip file. Now the thing with DatPiff is if you upload a mixtape, your fans come and you're not a sponsored mixtape, your fans have to log into DatPiff to download it. That's even if you take the tools that DatPiff gives you and you put them on your website, they still have to log into DatPiff. So that really makes it kind of difficult for your fans. So in order to get around this, DatPiff have slapped what was a $50 fee. I think it's $75 now. I'm not sure if that's right. Prices of these fees change all the time. And basically, this is not promotion. You're not paying to promote your mixtape. When you sponsor a mixtape, you're just allowing your fans to download it without having to sign into DatPiff. Now, this can be one of the cons of DatPiff that I don't really like. It's still like a really recognized website. It still has a lot of big artists on there and they still bring a lot of people to it. I think that the cons of uploading your mixtape on DatPiff far outweigh the pros. Now DatPiff used to be a thriving community. A lot of people kind of used it like they do with SoundCloud. They used to kind of chat with each other and stuff like 5-6 years ago. But now it's just getting so visually messy that I don't really like the site anymore. I don't really want to be on it. There's too many mixtapes on it. The site is outdated. These owners have made millions off of DatPiff and they haven't really done anything to upgrade the website. They've added some nice new social buttons and maybe a new HTML5 player, but they only recently did that. Like, they should have been doing this before any other website online. And it's just kind of disappointing. Like I said, you have to get that sponsored mixtape because if you don't, people will have to log in. It's just kind of stupid to ask your fans to log into a website, and it kind of kills the kind of whole process of promoting your mixtape on there. Now there's tons of these kind of weird ads on DatPiff. And plus if you upload your mixtape there as well, there's like places where they kind of promote other artists on each section of each side of the website, which kind of makes it unprofessional to promote your music there. So you might get traffic on DatPiff, but it's not one of the best places to do it. You can get featured spots on there, but they are really expensive. You could blow your whole budget on something that's not as effective as it used to be. So that was DatPiff, guys. Now the next site I'm going to talk about is that of Coast to Coast Mixtapes. Now this isn't, in a sense, a mixtape site like the other sites I've mentioned above or before, like Audiomack or DatPiff or Get Right Music. It's much more like a mixtape promotion company, like a PR company. And they use the tools that these other mixtape websites give you. There's no real straight up way of like uploading a mixtape on Coast to Coast Mixtapes. You have to pay to play here. Now they have like mixtape promotion packages that Coast to Coast offers in varies of prices. Now these come in starter mixtape plans and to mixtape hosting, and they'll vary from like $100, which could be their grab bag that I see a lot, or it could be a $2,000 mixtape hosting. It could be more than that. I'm not sure. These prices of these promotions will change over time, so don't quote me on any of these. A lot of the questions that you can see that the services that they offer, They offer email blasts, they have banner ads, they have our email contacts with other hip hop blogs. They have a big, massive social media presence. They have a radio station. So they have a lot of tools that they can use to promote your music. But the question I keep getting asked a lot of the time, so is Coast to Coast worth it? Is it worth using? And it's very hard to say, because I've heard good reviews about Coast to Coast mixtapes and I've heard a lot of bad reviews too. So I think if the site was truly shady, there'd be more abuse on social media from people. Like, I look on Twitter, I look on Facebook, and there's not really many people saying stuff all the time. There's always going to be a couple of people. If you Google Coast to Coast mixtapes, you will find a couple of reviews of people who have had bad experiences. And I think it's good to kind of see the good and the bad. But genuinely, I think if it was a truly shady website, there'd be a lot more abuse on Twitter. It'd be very hard to see. Alarm bells would be ringing. I got the chance to speak to DJ Casper Binks on my episode 8 of my podcast, on the Mixtape Marketing Podcast, and he seemed like a really cool guy, and he spoke about what Coast to Coast and what mixtape DJs do. Also, there's a guy I watch a lot on YouTube. His name is DJ Pain One, and he's associated with Coast to Coast mixtapes, and I think he gives good music advice to artists like me and other artists too. He's a good person that wouldn't be caught up in something that wasn't legit. I think Coast to Coast mixtapes is what it is. It's a PR firm. It doesn't guarantee you success. You will get exposure. They do have services. It's one of the biggest hip hop PR firms that I can see online. So what's the verdict? It's really hard to call. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. Promo packages aren't cheap. So if you're on a budget, I still like to be in control of my own marketing. I don't want to just have one. It's up to you which you think is best. Hunt down kind of Coast to Coast DJs and ask what they actually offer. Ask featured artists. So if like other artists have been online and you see them, ask them, what did they actually get from it? Do a lot of research. Go out and ask a bunch of people, how much did they pay? Was it worth it? I would test the water and maybe kind of incorporate it with my mixtape release, but I wouldn't put everything into Coast to Coast mixtapes. That's just my preference. So it's up to you guys to do your research. As long as you guys do your research and find out what the price packages are and how we can fit into your budget, that's when you're doing some good research. That's when you're creating a proper blueprint to release your mixtape online. In the next video, I'm going to talk about live mixtapes, Spinrilla, and my mixtapes. If it's your first time on my YouTube channel, we've got tons of videos on how to promote your music. Don't forget, YouTube's going to magically appear a video that suits you. I offer some free stuff on my website, beats and artist resources. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button underneath the video. This is Dan from the Corporate Geek Beats.